The Indiana Fever made the playoffs. They didn't play last night, but thanks to Las Vegas with a win over Chicago and Phoenix with a win over Atlanta, the Indiana Fever have their first playoff berth since 2016.
A rookie steps onto the court and suddenly a team's attendance jumps from 1,800 to 17,000. Sound impossible? That's the Caitlin Clark effect. But is it enough to make her an MVP candidate in her first WNBA season? Let's break down why Dan Patrick thinks it just might be. Here's the thing, Dan Patrick's take on Clark's MVP chances is turning heads. A rookie in the MVP conversation. That's not something you see every day. But Clark isn't just any rookie. She's a game changer, a crowd puller, and a stat stuffer all rolled into one. You might be wondering, what's the big deal? Well, Clark's journey from college superstar to WNBA sensation is anything but ordinary. There have been ups, downs, and everything in between. Stick around as we dive into the Clark-sized waves hitting women's basketball. Trust me, you won't want to miss this.
2 years ago, their home attendance was 1,800 fans. Their average this year, home attendance, is 17,000. And, of course, the big difference is Caitlin Clark. I think she should be up for MVP.
From college phenom to struggling rookie, Clark's path to the pros wasn't the smooth sail everyone expected. What caused her to stumble right out of the gate? The answer might surprise you. When Caitlin Clark stepped into the WNBA, fans were ready for fireworks. But instead of instant dominance, they got a glimpse of something far more valuable, the birth of a true pro. Clark's transition from college superstar to WNBA rookie wasn't just about adapting to a faster game or tougher opponents. It was about learning an entirely new way of playing basketball. The WNBA way hit Clark like a freight train. Gone were the days of effortless 30-point games and highlight reel assists. In their place, a steep learning curve that had even the most diehard Clark fans scratching their heads. Early in the season, doubts started creeping in. Was the college sensation really cut out for the big leagues? But here's where Clark's story takes an unexpected turn. Instead of crumbling under the pressure, she did what great players do. She adapted. Dan Patrick, never one to mince words, put it bluntly. Clark needed a rest after her grueling college season before diving into WNBA action. It's a stark reminder that even superhumans need time to recharge. Patrick didn't stop there. He pointed out Clark's early season struggles, but with a twist. He saw something brewing beneath the surface, a storm of talent just waiting to break loose. Look out, he warned, predicting a second-half surge that would leave the league stunned.
Rookie of the Year, foregone conclusion. But I think MVP. Now, I'm going to look at this the way I did with Michael Jordan.
And boy, was he right. As the season progressed, Clark's determination started paying dividends. Those initial stumbles, they weren't failures. They were the building blocks of something spectacular. Clark's ability to learn quickly, to absorb the WNBA way and make it her own, set the stage for a rookie season unlike any other. Now, let's talk numbers. Because in the world of sports, numbers don't lie. Clark's been putting up stats that make seasoned pros do a double take. 26 points and 12 assists per game. That's not just good for a rookie, that's good for anyone, period. It's the kind of performance that turns heads, fills seats, and yes, starts MVP conversations. But stats only tell part of the story. What they don't show is the grit, the late night practice sessions, the countless hours spent studying film and perfecting her craft. They don't capture the moment when it all clicked, when Clark stopped trying to be a college star in a pro's body and embraced her new identity as a WNBA force to be reckoned with. While Clark was busy becoming a pro, something unexpected was happening around her. Empty seats started filling up, TV ratings spiked, and a team that was all but forgotten suddenly became the talk of the town. What's behind this dramatic turnaround? The answer might just change how we think about star power in the WNBA.
Now, she's not the Michael Jordan of her sport as far as athleticism, playing, dominating. But A'ja Wilson is the best player in the game. Not even a debate.
Let's talk about the Indiana Fever. Remember them? The team that couldn't sniff the playoffs since 2016. Well, they're not just back in the hunt, they're making waves. And it's not just because of Clark's impressive stats. There's a bigger story unfolding here, one that's got the whole league buzzing. Picture this, a franchise that was struggling to fill even a fraction of its arena suddenly sees attendance skyrocket from 1,800 to 17,000. That's not just a bump, that's a seismic shift, and it's all thanks to the Clark effect. But here's the kicker, it's not just about putting butts in seats, it's about reigniting a passion for women's basketball that's spreading like wildfire. Dan Patrick hit the nail on the head when he said, her value is felt every place she goes, every arena she goes. Clark isn't just playing the game, she's transforming it. She's turning casual viewers into die-hard fans and making people who've never watched a WNBA game sit up and take notice. But let's not forget, Clark isn't doing this alone. Her partnership with Kelsey Mitchell has been nothing short of electric. These two are lighting up scoreboards like a 4th of July fireworks show. We're talking about a duo that can drop 50 points on any given night. That's not just good basketball, that's must-see TV. You might be wondering, how does all this translate to wins? Well, the Fever have gone from league punching bag to playoff contender faster than you can say rookie sensation.
Value to a franchise, value to a league, getting your team in the playoffs. They had the #1 pick. They were the worst team last year, and there is value that I can attach to that.
They're not just competitive, they're dangerous, and every team in the league knows it. But the impact goes beyond just one team. Clark's arrival has sparked a renewed interest in the WNBA as a whole. We're seeing increased viewership, more media coverage, and a buzz around the league that hasn't been felt in years. It's like Clark brought a defibrillator to the WNBA, and now the league's heart is beating stronger than ever. What if the most valuable player isn't the one with the best stats, but the one who transforms the entire sport? This radical notion is challenging everything we thought we knew about MVP races. Dan Patrick's take on Caitlin Clark's MVP chances is shaking up the basketball world, and it's not just because she's a rookie. Let's talk about what makes an MVP. Sure, points per game and assists are important, but Patrick argues there's something bigger at play here. He's comparing Clark's value to that of Michael Jordan. Now, before you start rolling your eyes, hear him out. Patrick's not saying Clark's dunking from the free throw line or winning 6 championships. He's talking about impact. Her value is felt every place she goes, every arena she goes, Patrick says. It's not just about what happens on the court, it's about packed stadiums, skyrocketing TV ratings, and a buzz around the WNBA that hasn't been felt in years. Clark's not just playing the game, she's changing it. But wait, what about A'ja Wilson? She's widely recognized as the best player in the league right now. Patrick acknowledges this, but he's looking at the bigger picture. Wilson might dominate on the court, but Clark's impact goes beyond the box score. She's turning casual viewers into die-hard fans and making people who've never watched a WNBA game sit up and take notice. Think about it, Clark's presence has turned the Indiana Fever from a forgotten franchise into must-see TV. Attendance has jumped from 1,800 to 17,000. That's not just a bump, that's a revolution, and it's happening across the league. Every time Clark steps on the court, eyes are glued to screens and seats are filled. Patrick's argument challenges us to rethink what valuable really means in the context of professional sports. Is it just about who scores the most points? Or is it about who brings the most value to their team, their league, and the sport as a whole? Clark's rookie season is rewriting the playbook on star power in the WNBA. She's not just elevating her team, she's elevating the entire league. TV ratings are up, social media is buzzing, and suddenly the WNBA is part of the mainstream sports conversation in a way it hasn't been before. But here's where it gets tricky. How do you measure that kind of impact? It's not something you can easily quantify with traditional stats. Patrick admits it's hard to define, but argues it's impossible to ignore. Clark's value goes beyond numbers on a stat sheet. It's about inspiration, excitement, and the future of women's basketball. From college sensation to WNBA game changer, Caitlin Clark's journey has been nothing short of remarkable. She's faced challenges, adapted to a new level of play, and emerged as a force that's reshaping the entire league. But this is just the beginning. As Dan Patrick points out, Clark's value goes beyond stats. She's bringing Jordan-like impact to the WNBA, filling arenas and capturing the nation's attention. But what's next for this rookie phenom? Will she continue to elevate the league, or is this just a flash in the pan? One thing's for sure, Clark's story is far from over. As she continues to grow and the WNBA evolves with her, we're witnessing the birth of a new era in women's basketball. Keep your eyes on Clark. She's not just playing the game, she's changing it.